Not everyone grows up knowing the warmth of a family dinner or the safety of a mother's arms. For most of her life, Lytuna believed those things were meant for other people, not for a girl raised in an orphanage, and certainly not for a single mother trying to survive on her own. But tonight, something changes. Tonight, she steps into Alex's home, and into a kind of love she never thought she'd receive. A home-cooked meal, a gentle smile, and a gift passed down through generations. A gift that quietly says, "You belong here." If stories of healing and family touch your heart, this episode is for you. And if it speaks to you, don't forget to subscribe for more quiet moments of warmth and hope. Not everyone grows up knowing what a mother's hug feels like, but that evening, Lytuna finally did. The quiet afternoon light rested softly on Alex's front porch, painting the wooden floorboards in warm gold. Lytuna stood there with Henry in her arms, holding him a little closer than usual. Even though Alex had told her many times that his mother adored her, even though she had been welcomed warmly before, the familiar fear returned the moment she stepped onto the porch. A girl who grew up in an orphanage, a single mother, someone who had never belonged to any family. Those thoughts rose inside her like an old ache. Alex opened the door gently and stepped aside. "Mom's been waiting," he said, his voice soft and warm. "Don't be nervous." Lytuna nodded, but the moment her foot crossed the doorway, her heartbeat quickened. The smell of warm soup and freshly steamed rice drifted from the kitchen, comforting and homely, yet her throat tightened. Part of her felt she didn't deserve to breathe in such warmth. But everything changed the moment Alex's mother appeared. "Oh, Lytuna, Henry!" she called out with joy, rushing toward them. She didn't hesitate. She didn't pause. She wrapped one arm around Lytuna and then gently gathered Henry into her embrace, as if he were her own grandchild. "My dear, I've been waiting all afternoon," she said, her voice trembling slightly with affection. "This house is too quiet without you two." Something inside Lytuna loosened, slowly, painfully, beautifully. She lowered her head a little, overwhelmed. I didn't want to trouble you." "Nonsense," the older woman said, touching her cheek with a mother's tenderness. "You are not a guest here, understand? Not a guest." The words settled into Lytuna's heart like warm tea poured into cold hands. Henry squealed happily in her arms, tugging at the small necklace around her neck. Alex's mother laughed softly, placing a kiss on top of Henry's head. "Such a sweet boy. Come in, come in. Dinner is almost ready." Alex watched quietly as they walked into the house. A warm feeling spread in his chest. Seeing the two people he loved most be so gentle with each other felt like a missing piece slipping into place. The kitchen was alive with soft sounds, the clatter of wooden spoons, the bubbling of soup on the stove. Alex's mother moved gracefully, humming an old tune she used to sing when Alex was little. She glanced at Lytuna with a smile that spoke more kindness than words could. "Come help me, dear," she said warmly. "You have gentle hands. I want them in my kitchen." Lytuna blinked, surprised. "Me? Are you sure? If you're here, everything tastes better already." Those simple words softened her entire posture. She stepped beside the counter, took the basket of vegetables, and began chopping. The steady rhythm calmed her heart. As they worked together, Alex's mother spoke in a gentle, reflective tone. "You know," she began, slicing carrots slowly, "when I married Alex's father, his family didn't accept me." Lytuna's head lifted in surprise. "They didn't?" "No. The older woman chuckled softly. They thought I wasn't good enough. Too simple. Too ordinary. Tuna's eyes widened. You felt that way too? Oh yes, she said. Back then, every visit felt like stepping into a place where I didn't belong. She looked at Tuna kindly. That's why I recognize the look in your eyes. Tuna froze. Her knife stopped mid-cut. But you know, the older woman continued, time changes things. Kindness changes things. When people see a good heart, they eventually understand. She touched Tuna's wrist softly. And you, my dear, you warm this home. So don't ever think you're not worthy of being here. Tuna tried to speak, but emotion rose too quickly. She drew a shaky breath. Thank you. Truly. Family should feel safe, the older woman whispered. I want this place to feel safe for you. Dinner came together gently, like a small celebration. The table filled with warm dishes, braised pork, sautéed greens, a bowl of fragrant soup. Alex carried Henry to the table, and the little boy squealed happily, hitting a spoon against the wood. Alex's mother laughed so hard she nearly lost her breath. Look at him. He'll grow up strong, just like Alex. Alex shook his head. Mom, I never did that. Oh, you did, she said, teasing him. You were louder. Tuna laughed softly, the kind of laugh she rarely let out. Sitting there with Alex beside her, Henry in his grandmother's arms, and the quiet warmth of family surrounding her, she felt something she had never fully felt before. Peace. Real, deep peace. Alex noticed her smile and leaned closer. You okay? She nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. I feel peaceful. He gently brushed a loose strand of hair from her cheek. You're home, Tuna. Home. The word echoed inside her, strange, unfamiliar, beautiful. For the first time, she believed it might be true. Dinner stretched into the early evening, the house wrapped in a warm quiet that made every sound feel softer than usual. After the dishes were cleared, Alex's mother carried Henry into the living room, gently bouncing him as she walked. The baby's tiny laughter mingled with the dim glow of the lamp, filling the house with an easy, familiar comfort. Tuna watched them with a tenderness she didn't try to hide. She had seen families before, on the street, in markets, on television. But they had always been scenes from a life she didn't belong to. Tonight was different. Tonight, she was sitting inside that kind of life, and it didn't feel borrowed. It felt real. Alex's mother lifted a spoon toward Henry, playfully tapping his nose. Such a gentle boy, she said with pride. He listens with his whole heart. Tuna smiled. He likes you a lot, Mother. The word slipped out again, soft but sincere. Alex looked at her, surprised and touched. His mother's face softened instantly, her eyes warm with emotion. You can call me that any time, dear, she whispered. It suits you. Tuna flushed. I didn't mean... No. The older woman said, her voice full of affection. I'm glad you did. A quiet, meaningful stillness filled the room. Alex reached beneath the table and gently squeezed Tuna's hand. She let him hold it, feeling the warmth of belonging settle deeper into her chest. You must eat more, his mother said suddenly, placing another piece of pork in Tuna's bowl. You need your strength. Henry needs a strong mother. Tuna looked down, blinking back the sting of sudden tears. Thank you. I will. Good, the older woman said proudly. And come here often. The house feels alive when you're here. There was no pressure in her tone, no expectation, just a simple truth spoken from the heart. When dinner ended, the three moved into the living room, Alex's mother rocked Henry gently, humming an old lullaby, soft, slow, full of the love she poured into her children many years ago. Henry's eyelids drooped, and before long, he fell asleep against her shoulder. "He sleeps so peacefully with you," Lytuna said, her voice full of wonder. "That's because he knows love when he feels it," Alex's mother replied, brushing a strand of hair from Henry's forehead. "Babies always know." Lytuna swallowed hard. She didn't have memories of being held like this. No soft hymns, no warm arms, no mother's kiss. But seeing Henry receive all of that, seeing this woman give it so naturally, filled a part of her that had always been empty. Alex stepped close. "You're thinking again," he murmured gently. She exhaled. "I'm grateful, that's all. You deserve this," he whispered. After a few minutes, Alex's mother motioned for them to come sit beside her. "Come," she said softly. "Look how peaceful he is." Lytuna sat next to her, leaning close to Henry's sleeping form. His small chest rose and fell in a slow, steady rhythm. Then the older woman looked at Lytuna with an expression gentle enough to break stone. "Child," she began quietly, "I know life hasn't been easy for you." Lytuna's breath caught. "You carry everything alone. You raised Henry with no one to help you. That takes real strength." Lytuna lowered her gaze. "Sometimes I don't feel strong. That's because no mother should carry the world alone." She took Lytuna's hand, her grip warm and sincere. "But you're not alone anymore. Not with Alex. Not with me. Not in this house." The words unraveled something deep in Lytuna's heart. Tears gathered and shimmered before she could hide them. The older woman gently wiped the corner of her eye. "You are welcome here. Truly." Lytuna nodded, her voice too shaky to speak. Alex sat beside her, placing his arm gently around her shoulders. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. It was the kind of closeness that said, "I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." After a quiet moment, Alex's mother looked down at Henry and then back at Lytuna with a thoughtful expression. "I want to give Henry something," she said softly. "Something very important to me." She stood and walked to a small wooden chest near the bookshelf. From inside, she took out a small embroidered blanket, soft, faded, and clearly well-loved. The stitching along the edges was delicate, old-fashioned, done by careful hands long gone. "This," she said, holding it out gently, "was given to me by Alex's grandmother when I became a mother for the first time. She told me it would bring comfort and protection to my child." Lytuna's eyes widened. "Your grandmother?" The older woman nodded. "She gave it to me as a blessing. And now," her voice softened, "I want Henry to have it." Lytuna stared at the blanket, overwhelmed. Heirlooms weren't just objects. They were acceptance, history, a bridge between generations. She hesitated, her hands trembling slightly. I can't take something so precious." "You're not taking it," the older woman said gently. "It's being passed on, and that's what family does." She placed the blanket into Lytuna's hands and wrapped her fingers around it. "Henry is part of this family, and so are you." Lytuna lowered her head, a tear falling silently onto the soft fabric. She held the blanket to her chest, feeling its age, its warmth, its meaning. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you so much." Later, when they finally stepped outside, the cool night air brushed against their faces. Alex walked beside her, Henry sleeping peacefully against her shoulder, the heirloom blanket resting over him. Alex looked at her and said softly, "See? You're home now." This time, Lytuna didn't hesitate. She believed it. Lytuna arrives at Alex's home with Henry, carrying her usual fear of not belonging, a fear born from growing up in an orphanage and raising her son alone. But everything changes when Alex's mother greets her with genuine joy, embraces Henry like her own grandchild, and tells Lytuna she is not a guest in this house. As they cook together, the older woman shares her own painful past of not being accepted, helping Lytuna feel understood for the first time. Over dinner, laughter fills the room, and Henry falls asleep peacefully in his grandmother's arms. Later, Alex's mother gives Henry a precious heirloom passed down from her own mother-in-law, a symbol of acceptance and family. Overwhelmed, Lytuna finally feels the warmth she has longed for all her life, and when Alex whispers, "You're home," she believes him.